Okay, let's return to our search. Now we've gotten pretty broad with our search, but I do want to change gears here and start talking about subject searching, because subject searching can produce significantly different search results, because right now we're just looking for keywords, but subject searching can return results that you did not previously find by doing your keyword searching. And subject searching is actually a little bit tricky, so I'm going to try to break it down for you and make it a little bit more simple. Basically, there are several ways to conduct subject searches. So let's start with the first technique. You can click on an article of interest to you. Once that article detailed record screen appears, you can scroll down and take a look at the subjects, okay? And it doesn't matter if they have the asterisks in front of the subject terms, that just means they come from a different subject index. So these subject terms are hyperlinked within this record. So if I wanted to try a search for employee engagement, just by the subject term, I can actually click on that and it will execute a whole new search for me. Once it has done that, you will see up at the top of the screen it says DE employee engagement. Sometimes when you click on a subject term, it will say SU employee engagement. Either way, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and let that be if this is the technique that you've used. Okay, so we've looked for employee engagement as a subject term, and we have 3,300 results. Of course, we could continue on adding additional keywords or using additional search techniques to narrow this down. But I just wanted to point out that first technique by actually going to a record of interest to you and clicking on a hyperlinked subject term. The next search technique that we can use is by using the SU subject term field code at the top of the screen. We talk about field codes a little bit more in Searching 102, but what I want to say about them at this time is that these can be a little bit tricky, because if you're searching for a subject term using this field at the top of the screen, this basically relies on your already knowing or taking an educated guess that the database uses that particular term as a subject term. So it can be hit or miss when trying these subject terms at the top. So the best technique for you is to actually start scrolling through your results and looking at those subject terms. So here we see job satisfaction is a subject term, job involvement is a subject term, employee engagement is a subject term. So we're doing the best to educate ourselves as to what is used as a subject term within the database. You could even copy and paste those terms that you see. So if I wanted to copy job involvement as an example, I can go back up to the top of the screen, I'll clear everything out, I'll paste that back in, and I'll choose SU subject terms. I also know that employee satisfaction or job satisfaction is used as a subject term, so I'll go ahead and choose that as well. So this would be your second technique of searching by subject terms. Making sure that you know that these keywords or phrases are used as subject terms, pasting them into the search box or typing them into the search box, choosing SU subject terms from the drop-down, and then pressing search. So in that case, our results actually went up a little bit, I think. Another thing that we can do when it comes to subject searching is we can conduct our searches, either keyword or subject, and then on the left-hand side of the screen, we can scroll down to the subject area. This is going to display the top 6 subject terms that are assigned to your specific set of results. So in this case, our 3,900 set of results. And we can click Show More to see additional subject terms. At this point, we can pick and choose subject terms that are appropriate to our particular topic. So we know that job satisfaction is relevant, so we may want to keep that in there. But if we wanted to try to narrow things down a little bit further, we could try just choosing additional subject terms that might be relevant. So let's say we wanted to focus more on the job involvement and employee attitudes as an example, maybe organizational commitment, employee retention, and then we could update our search results once we're satisfied with the subjects that we've selected. So that did narrow down our results a little bit, and I want to point out that any of the subjects that you've selected appear on the left-hand side of the screen. So if we decided that we did not want one of those particular subjects anymore, we could X out of it, or we could clear all of our limiters. So we've talked about 3 different ways to conduct subject searches. The final technique that I want to demonstrate is by using a database thesaurus. So you've heard of a thesaurus as a way to find additional synonyms for words. Basically, that's what a database thesaurus does too, but then it allows you to apply those terms to your search. Now, because Roadrunner is not an individual database, it does not have a thesaurus. So I'm going to return to the library's homepage and go to the A to Z databases so we can go into Proquest Central. You can access those popular databases on the right-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to scroll down to Proquest Central. This is a large multidisciplinary database. However, it is searched from within Roadrunner as well. Okay, I'm going to click on our advanced search at the top of the screen, and then we will see the thesaurus right here above the search box. What I'm going to do is click on thesaurus, and then we can choose from the list. MESH means medical subject headings. Pilots, I'm actually not familiar with, but the one that we want is Proquest Thesaurus. So I'm going to click on that. And this allows us to search for the controlled vocabulary, the official subject terms used by the database, in this case by Proquest. So what I'm going to do is type in employee engagement so we can see if that is in fact used as a subject term within Proquest. And I'm going to click Find. And it says subject terms found, employee engagement. Oh, maybe I need to click on it first. Okay. Because it did not have a checkbox, so that meant it was not used as the main subject heading. So what it is using instead is employee involvement. And it does display narrow terms as well, employee empowerment and worker co-determination. But let's say I'm most interested in employee involvement. I can click on that checkbox and then I can click Add to Search. So what it has done is it has put the subject exact employee involvement, and then I can either continue finding terms from the thesaurus, I can add additional keywords, or if I'm satisfied, I can press Search to begin getting results for that particular subject. So if you see a thesaurus, either in Proquest or another library database, that is how it will work. It's a way for you to look up to see what official vocabulary is used, the official search terms for your particular topic.